Daniel 7 through 9. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions on his bed. And when he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters, Daniel spoke and said, I saw you in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heavens stirred up the great sea, and the four great animals came up from the sea, different from one another. The first was like a lion, and it had the wings of an eagle. I watched until its wings were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made to stand on 2 feet as a man. A man's heart was given to it. Behold, there was another animal, a second, like a bear. It was raised up on one side, and 3 ribs were in its mouth between its teeth. They said this to it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I saw, and behold, another like a leopard, which had on its back 4 wings of a bird. The animal also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, there was a 4th animal, awesome and powerful, exceedingly strong. It had great iron teeth. It devoured and broke in pieces and stamped the residue with its feet. It was different from all the animals that were before it. It had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another horn, a little horn, before which 3 of the first horns were plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes, like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. I watched until thrones were placed, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was fiery flames, and its wheels burning fire. A fiery steam issued and came out from before him. Thousands of thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I watched at that time because of the voice of the great words which the horn spoke. I watched even until the animal was slain, and its body destroyed, and it was given to be burned with fire. As for the rest of the animals, their dominion was taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. I saw in the night visions, and behold, there came with the clouds of heaven one like Son of Man, and he came up to the Ancient of Days. And they brought him near before him. Dominion was given him, and glory, and a kingdom, and all the peoples, nations, and tongues should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will not be destroyed. As for me, Daniel, my spirit was grieved within my body, and the visions on my head troubled me. I came near to one of those who stood by, and asked him the truth concerning all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great animals, which are 4 kings, who will arise out of the earth. But the holy ones of Elion will receive the kingdom, and possess the kingdom forever and ever. Then I desired to know the truth concerning the 4th animal, which was different from all of them, exceedingly terrible, whose teeth were of iron, and its nails of bronze, which devoured, broke in pieces, and stamped the residue with its feet. And concerning the 10 horns that were on its head, and the other horn which came up, before which 3 fell, even the horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spoke great things, whose look was more stout than its fellows. I saw the same horn made war with the holy ones, and prevailed against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the holy ones of Elion. And the time came that the holy ones possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the 4th animal will be a 4th kingdom on earth, which will be different from all the kingdoms, and will devour the whole earth, and will tread on it, and break it in pieces. As for the 10 horns, 10 kings will arise out of this kingdom, another will arise after them, and will be different from the former. He will put down 3 kings, and he will speak words against Elyon, and will wear out the holy ones of Elyon. He will plan to change the times and the law, and they will be given into his hand until a time and half time. But the judgment will be set, and they will take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it to the end. The kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdoms under the whole heaven will be given to the people of the holy ones of Elyon. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions will serve and obey him. Here is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts much troubled me, and my face was changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared to me, even to me, Daniel, after that which appeared to me at the first. And I saw the vision. Now it was so, that when I saw, I was in the citadel of Susa, which is in the province of Elam. I saw in the vision, and was by the river Ulai. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river, which had 2 horns. The 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. I saw a ram pushing westward, northward, southward, and no beast would stand before him. There was not any who could devour out of his hand, but he did according to his will, and magnified himself. As I was considering, behold, a male goat came from the west over surface of the whole earth, and did not touch the ground. The goat had a notable horn between his eyes. He came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I saw standing before the river, and ran on him in the fury of his power. I saw him come close to the ram, and he was moved with anger against him, and struck the ram, and broke his 2 horns. There was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground and trampled on him. There was no one who could deliver the ram out of his hand. Then the male goat magnified himself exceedingly. When he was strong, the great horn was broken, and instead of it there came up 4 notable horns toward the 4 winds of heaven. Out of one of them came a 4th, a little horn, which grew exceedingly great, toward the south and toward the east and toward the glorious land. It grew great, even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the hosts and the stars to the ground, and trampled on them. Yes, it magnified itself even to the prince of the host, and it took away from him the continual burnt offering, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And the host was given over to it together with a continual burnt offering because of the transgression. It came down truth to the ground. It did its pleasure and prospered. Then I heard a holy one speaking, and another holy one said to the certain one who spoke, How long will the vision about the continual burnt offering and the transgression that makes desolate, to give both the sanctuary and the army be trodden under foot be? He said to me, 2,300 evenings and mornings, then the sanctuary will be cleansed. And it came to pass, when I, Daniel, had seen the vision, that I sought to understand it. Then behold, there stood before me something like the appearance of a man. I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when I came, I was frightened, and I fell on my face. And he said to me, Understand, son of man, for the vision belongs to the time of the end. Now he was speaking with me. I fell into a deep sleep, with my face toward the ground. But he touched me, and set me upright. And he said, Behold, I will make you know what will be in the latter time of the indignation, for it belongs to the appointed time of the end. The ram which you saw, that had the 2 horns, they are the kings of Media and Persia. The rough male goat is the king of Greece. The great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. As for that which was broken, in the place where the 4 stood up, 4 kingdoms will stand up out of the nation, but not with his power. In the latter time of their kingdom, When the transgressors have come to the full, a king of fierce face, understanding, dark sentences, will stand up. His power will be mighty, but not by his own power. And he will destroy awesomely, and will prosper in what he does. And he will destroy the mighty ones and the holy people. Through his policy, he will cause deceit to prosper in his hand, and he will magnify himself in his heart, and he will destroy many in their security. He will also stand up against the prince of princes, but he will be broken without hand. And the vision of the evenings and the mornings, which have been told, is true. But seal up the vision, for it belongs to many days to come. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick for some days. Then I rose up and did the king's business. I was astonished by the vision, but no one understood it. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, a Median descent, who was made king over the realm of Casdim, in the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by the books of the number of the years by which the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah the prophet, for the accomplishing of the desolations of Jerusalem 70 years. I set my face toward Adonai Elohim to seek by prayer and petitions with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. And I prayed to Yahweh my God. I made confession and said, O Adonai, the great and dreadful God, who keeps covenants and loving kindness with those who love him and keep his mitzvot, we have sinned and have dealt perversely and have done wickedly and have rebelled, even turning aside from your mitzvot and your judgments. We have not listened to your servants, the prophets, who spoke in your name, to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, to all the people of the land. Adonai, righteousness belongs to you, but to us confusion of face as it is today, to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to all Israel, who are near and who are far off, through all the countries where you have driven them, because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against you. Adonai, to us belongs confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against you. To Adonai Eloheinu belongs mercies and forgiveness, for we have rebelled against him. We have not obeyed the voice of Yahweh our God, to walk in his Torah, which he has set before us by his servants, the prophets. All Israel has transgressed your Torah, turning aside, that they should not obey your voice. Therefore, the curse and the oath written in the Torah of Moses, the servant of God, has been poured out on us, for we have sinned against him. He has confirmed his words, which he spoke against us and against our judges who judge us, by bringing on us a great evil. For under the whole earth such has not been done as has been done to Jerusalem, as it is written in the Torah of Moses. All this evil has come upon us, yet we have not entreated the favor of Yahweh our God, that we should turn from our iniquities and have discernment in your truth. Therefore Yahweh has watched over the evil and brought it on us. For Yahweh our God is righteous in all his works which he does, and we have not obeyed his voice. And now, Adonai Eloheinu, who has brought your people out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and have gotten yourself renown, as it is today, we have sinned. We have done wickedly. Adonai, according to all your righteousness, let your anger and please let your wrath be turned away from your city Jerusalem, your holy mountain, because for our sins and for the iniquities of our fathers, Jerusalem and your people have become a reproach to all who are around us. Now, therefore, our God, listen to the prayer of your servant and to the petitions for your sake. O Adonai, cause your face to shine on your sanctuary that is desolate. My God, turn your ear and heart, open your eyes, and see our desolations, and the city which is called by your name. For we do not present our petitions before you for our righteousness, but for your great mercy's sake. Adonai, hear Adonai, forgive Adonai, listen and act and do not delay for our own sake, my God, because your city and your people are called by your name. While I was speaking and praying and confessing my sin and the sin of my people Israel, and presenting my supplications before Yahweh, my God, for the holy mountain of my God, yes, while I was speaking in prayer, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening offering. And he instructed me and talked with me and said, O Daniel, I have now come to give you wisdom and understanding. At the beginning of your petition, the word went out, and I have come to tell you, for you are greatly beloved. Therefore, consider the matter and understand the vision. 70 weeks are determined for your people and for your holy city, to finish transgression, to put an end to sin, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know, therefore, and discern that from the going out of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem to the Mashiach, the Prince, will be 70 weeks and 62 weeks. It will be built again, with street and moat, even in troubled times. And after the 62 weeks, Mashiach will be cut off, and will have nothing. And the people of the people of the prince will destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end will be with a flood, and war will be even to the end. Desolation are determined, and he will make a firm covenant with many for 1 week. In the middle of the week, he will cause the sacrifice of the offering to cease. On the wing of the abominations will come one who makes desolate, and to the full end, and that determined wrath will be poured out on the desolate.